Hello and happy Tuesday. Um, Hope you will join us for lunch with our long ears. Today we're going to just kind of check in with everybody and see what's going on. I just got back, and so all the morning stuff has happened, and so I'm going to do a little bit of my check-in on my crew to make sure that they're okay. One of the things that I want to talk about today is flies. Getting a lot of calls and messages and pleas for help. Fly season in Colorado has been pretty bad this year. We've had a lot of moisture, and as a result of a lot of moisture, we've had a lot of flies. So, when people ask me what we're doing, when people tell me what we're doing, um, all I can do is share, and all I can do is tell you what we're doing and why, and what's worked and what hasn't. Um, the primary focus that we have is that we are making sure that our pens are pretty clean. So our pens have already been cleaned this morning. Um, we are picking up at least once a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, making sure that manure is not sitting out, because obviously the flies attract to the manure. So that's our first and foremost. The second piece, Jack. Have my glove back, buddy? Yes. Yes. Good job, buddy. The second piece is that ones that are having issues with flies around their eyes, such as Lenny, are wearing masks. We do different kinds of masks, but mostly the masks have to have no ears because they don't fit on the donkey's ears. You can definitely buy a horse mask and cut the ears off. But the masks help not only with sunshine, but they help with keeping the flies out of their eyes where they gather. So that is one piece. Lenny has had a pretty rough go. If you look at his legs, they're much better than they have been. But he's still got some sores and stuff that we're working through that are from the flies. So part of his protocol right now is that we're currently putting diaper rash cream onto his legs. He knows that that's why she's looking, and so he's avoiding her. So he doesn't want that to happen. We're going to have gloves in Jack's mouth all day long today, apparently. The other piece that has worked really well for Lenny is a product called, it's made by Farnham, is the company, and it's called EquiSpot. It's a application that you put on, and it happens every 2 weeks. He is due for a new treatment today, but the number of flies on him has reduced substantially as a result of EquiSpot, and we've got about 6 or 7 donkeys now that we're using EquiSpot on. The other piece that we're using is Genevieve and Niner are our models. Yoga pants. And the yoga pants keep the flies obviously off their legs, off their front legs. Niner has really bad back legs that we don't necessarily want to look at. But we're also working with him with the diaper rash cream and with the EquiSpot as well. The other thing that we do use is these green, we'll walk up here. They're traps that attract the flies, and you want to keep them away from the donkeys for the most part. So we always put them outside of the pens so that they're drawing the flies up and away. For some reason, the fluorescent green ones are the ones that work. This one is probably dried up and needs to be refilled and replaced. But the outdoor fly traps, you just add water, they sink, but the flies fly into them and get trapped. So the combination of all those things, in addition to fly spray for those that will tolerate fly spray, has been working quite well here. I would say that our fly problem is substantially less than a lot of the places that I've gone to as far as visiting and seeing. Unfortunately for Lenny and Niner, it appears to be the white donkeys this year that are getting the flies the worst. So we're trying our best to stay on top of them and ahead of them to avoid the big open sores, because obviously they're painful for the animals, and it's just not fun. So hopefully that helps a little bit with flies. So again, we're using these outdoor fly traps, masks, leggings, which the leggings we're not buying. We have lots of people that have donated leggings to us. If you have old leggings sitting around that are on their way to Goodwill, please don't throw them out. Save them for us. We're sharing a lot of them with Cripple Creek as well. But the leggings definitely work. Fly spray, diaper rash cream. We're using bag balm. We're using SWAT on some of them. And otherwise the EquiSpot, Farnham EquiSpot. So Lenny's due for a new application of that this afternoon. I could probably actually show you that while we're going live. But for the most part, we're just watching out for ones that are having a really hard time and trying to boost their immunity to the flies so that the flies don't continue to bother them. So other things that are going on. We've had questions about freeze brands. We have a lot of BLM donkeys here, which are from the Bureau of Land Management. They're formerly wild. All BLM donkeys that come through the BLM holding facilities are given what's called a freeze mark. And the freeze mark is on their left side of their neck. And it is hieroglyphics that translate into a number. And the number translates into a lot of information that BLM puts into that number. So the first two digits of the number is what BLM considers to be their year of birth, and they do that based on their teeth to come up with an age when they come off the wild, because obviously we didn't see them born. Yeah. That's Astro. His is more prominent, but still not readable at this point because it would need to be shaved. But the first two numbers is their year of birth. Second two numbers is the facility that they went through as far as BLM. And then the last four digits is their assigned number with BLM. If you look at Maisie, in the front and the back of her brand, there's a U. This U is BLM's sign. They actually all have one in the front of their freeze brand, but when they have in the back, they're considered sale authority donkeys through BLM. And so that's another level of information that is translated into that mark. They do those with liquid nitrogen. That's why they're white. So they don't show up as well on white skin as they do on dark skin. Jack Jack does not have one. You're going to have everything related to me in your mouth today, aren't you? Jack Jack needs a job and somebody to play with. So hopefully that cleared up freeze brands a little bit. If you go to our website under the resources tab, there is actually a link to a document that will tell you how to read a freeze brand and give you a little bit more information about that. But we get that question a lot when BLM donkeys come in, because many times they've been shaved for identification purposes prior to arriving here. So it's just part of the process. Are you coming with me? Huh? You coming with me, Mr. Niner? So other things going on this week. There's been a lot going on this week. We're looking at a potential change in or addition to our feeding protocol. We've been making contacts as to who is able to supply what we're looking at, and looking at making some changes to the overall diet and the overall eating plan at our facility to allow the donkeys more browsing time to eat throughout the day. And so that could be something that's forthcoming. We've been working on building projects this week, been working on some mowing, working on hay and feed, been working on the water project once again. I'm going to take you in and show you in this pen. We have a protocol here at Burro Base Camp that we are microchipping every donkey that comes in that is not microchipped. Fortunately for us, most of the BLM donkeys have already been microchipped, and so they have a microchip in their neck. Gonna step over the trench for a second, let Nancy show you donkeys so that she doesn't have to climb the trench too. One of the features of the microchips that we're using is that they have a temperature reading on them. And at the current moment, we have our Merck rep who has loaned a temperature reader scanner to us until we're able to get our own. But in the event that we need to take a temperature on our donkeys, all we have to do is read their microchip to get that information. So, Mr. Taswald, we'll see if you can be a subject. Taz's microchip may not be a temp reader. I don't remember, because he may be before we started that protocol. Donkeys, when they're microchipped, are microchipped on the left-hand side. Where's your chip, mister? There it is. So he does have a temperature reading. His temperature is currently 100.3. So it not only reads their identification number, but it shows a temperature reading up here at the top. So in event of sickness, illness, anything that's not right or not normal going on, we like to try and take vitals to be able to give that information to our vet before they get out here. And it just gives us a baseline to start monitoring to see if we have anything going on. BJ, do you want your chip read? We might have to look at our chip reader. So that's a pretty cool feature. It's certainly better than taking a rectal, and usually when donkeys don't feel good, taking a rectal is not always super fun. But all of the BLM chips that we have had come through have microchip readings as well. So we'll take a look at Shadrach real quick. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. $100.1. What's going on, mister? Huh? It has been pretty hot here the last couple of days. Today it is cloudy and cooler. It's windy. But these guys have had really hot temps for the last couple of days. I think they're a little bit over it. We have a little bit of runny eyes going on. We have Calvin, who has a collar over his ear. Runny eyes is a little bit of dust flying, a little bit of change in weather and humidity. Um, but we just check in and monitor our herd on a daily basis, and you can see that most of them are pretty involved, as Nancy has a whole bunch of helpers. But we know if they're not acting normally. We keep an eye on that. We have a couple that are on feeding protocols. So when they get fed in the morning, we're checking in with them. But for the most part, we get eyes on everybody every day, and we definitely keep an eye on unusual behaviors and track things like that. And fortunately, our volunteers put up flags as well when they see something that's not normal. Otherwise, I would say let's just go say hi to everybody. This is Taz. You say hi to your fan club, Taz, and his buddy Scout. Scout's winning the growth battle right now. He's actually taller than Taz now. And they were sitting at the trough this morning. Scout's back hips are much higher than Taz's now, and Scout is in fact nearly as tall as his mother. It's fun to see him grow. Taz has something that we're watching. We can show them. Yeah, show me a tooth. Yeah. So he lost a tooth that he shouldn't have lost yet. And so we're watching to make sure that he doesn't end up with an infection. Fortunately for him, we've poked and prodded and played with his teeth since he was a little baby, so he doesn't care so much that I'm putting my hands in his mouth. But those are just things that we're monitoring and making sure that nothing changes. We don't know how he knocked out his tooth. It was just gone. And so not much you can do to put a tooth back. He'll get a tooth when he is 4 in that spot. Right? 4 years old. You need a glove? We're going to go over and say hi to these guys, Taz. So this pen this week, was this pen here last week? Yes, it was. Okay. So we merged all of everybody that was in quarantine, as well as Diego, Daphne, and Dwight, into this side of the pen because we have not finished up vaccinations yet, and we figured it was easier to sort out of 20 than it was to sort out of 40. So they are getting remaining vaccinations on Friday. Diego is right here. He's talking to Nancy. He has news to share. He met his doctor this weekend. So he and his bonded triple, Daphne and Dwight and Diego, are all going to a new home, probably in about a month or so. This is Smokey. Smokey we have on a refeed program now, trying to put a little bit of weight and meat on his bones. So he's getting breakfast every day. As a result of getting breakfast every day, he's turned into a really, really good guy because he's getting love, and he can be haltered and puts his lead rope on and loves to be cuddled. You're a good boy, aren't you? Did you get your breakfast today? Did they remember to feed you? I know that they did because they sent me a message. Buster's right next to Nancy. This is Admiral. Where did Thor go? Thor is right here. And Thor, I'm going to have you take a look at his feet. So this is a neglected hoof situation. Upon arrival, he may or may not have had his hoofs trimmed ever in his life, but he is scheduled with his vaccines and things that are happening on Friday to have his hoofs trimmed. We will do that with sedation to allow the farrier time to work and to make sure that it's a good clean trim to get him on the right ground to go forward, and we want to make sure it's a positive experience. So with the length of his hooves and the need for them to be done, we've chosen to sedate in lieu of waiting until we've gotten him to the point that he's gentle enough to be able to pick up his feet on his own. So that's going to happen with Mr. Thor on Friday. Where's Daphne? Here's Daphne. She's another one that has hoof troubles. She's scheduled to be sedated and trimmed on the 12th now. So this is a very common thing that we deal with when we come in, that hooves have been neglected and not taken care of. If they have movement in the wild, a lot of times their hoof problems will take care of themselves because of movement and wear and tear. But this is overgrowth, and so we're going to get hers addressed as well. We've been working on getting her handled. She's allowing touches now. She's allowing us to bring her into the pen. So we'll see how far we can get by the 12th, but definitely have sedation available and probably on board once again to allow the farrier time to take care of the feet. When we bring the donkeys in to work with them, each side of this enclosure has training pens and chutes, so we can move everybody in. We bring them into a place where they don't have a whole lot of helpers, because you can see that when we have helpers, that we have helpers and it's hard to get anything done. So we bring them in and work with them one-on-one. Typically when they come in, they get a bowl of grain as a reward for coming in, so that they learn that it's a good thing to come in and work with us versus something that they should be scared of. We do reward with treats as well when they are following through on information, but they also learn that it's a good thing. So Smokey now is at a week that he's been on his refeed, and he's now walking in on his own in the morning to come in and get his bowl of food. So they learn routines, they learn what's expected and when, and our other two that are on feed protocols now meet us at the gate or don't even meet us because I can't make it out the door for Jezebel before she calls to tell me that she hasn't had breakfast yet. This Mr. Coffee, he is healing quite nicely from his castration. He's doing really well. Other than that, these guys they're doing really well. You can see that they arrived here on July 2nd, so I guess we're at 4 weeks now that they've been here. And obviously the behavior in 4 weeks has changed fairly drastically as far as their willingness to interact with us and participate and be a part of the group and come see the people. So they're definitely getting more Burro Brave every day, which is fun. Baby watch update. We're not at the top pen, but Miss Zeta has not had her baby yet. We thought that she might the other day, but she did not. So we're still waiting on hopefully a healthy and happy baby to be born and a healthy delivery for Miss Zeta. She was not bred at Burro Base Camp. She came inbred. And we have kept her around so that we could monitor and make sure that she has any resources that she needs in the event that things become difficult. So she was with she was with Zephyr when she came in, and Zephyr actually aborted her baby at the end of March. And so that's had our caution flags up a little bit higher with Zeta. And just keeping an eye on her. So their pen's getting cleaned multiple times a day right now to make sure that she has a clean, dry place to have her baby when she's ready. Obviously making sure that they have good, clean water and feed, and she's getting out and exercising, going out in the pasture on a daily basis, which she's still enjoying, but she's definitely walking substantially slower when she goes out there. What do you guys think, huh? So what you see from this group is that these are the guys that we're working with most consistently since Diego, Dwight, and Daphne now have a home to go to, and Smokey is on a refeed program. We're getting hands on these guys every day, and as a result of getting hands on them every day, they're part of our group. Buster has been pretty curious and pretty friendly since he arrived. He was actually the very first one in this group that let me touch him. And he let me touch you when you came off the trailer in the wide open and not even in a pen, huh? So he's enjoys being touched and he enjoys interacting. He's still a little bit cautious if you move too fast, but if you hang slow, he's pretty good about just letting you come in and giving him a good hug, huh? You're a good boy. You're gonna make somebody a really great donkey, aren't you? What kind of job do you think you want? So it's a pretty big deal when you can put an arm around a brand new to us donkey, and that they trust me enough and trust Nancy enough to allow touches. It's really fun to see them come out of their shells. He's got a good, is Smokey's freeze mark pretty good? No, not very good. A lot of these guys have been shaved because before they came to us, they read their freeze marks. Here's 3 guys that you're meeting. So these guys have an interesting story. This is Grover on the left, Percy in the middle, and Hercules on the right. Hercules has the Nachin's ear on the left-hand side. Those guys, these are stories that I like to see. They were actually gathered from the wild on the same day, and they came into the trailer and into the truck all together. Their numbers, as far as their freeze mark and as far as their microchip, are all 1 digit apart. And these 3 have managed to stay together the whole way. So we are adopting them out as a bonded triple, and they will continue to stay together. And we like to reward those efforts and those friendships and don't want to break them up. So that's Percy and Grover and Hercules. We did make a really big update to our website this morning and have profiles now of everybody who is here that is currently in the adopter group, minus Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I have not done their profiles yet, but all the new profiles are up and you can see these guys and see the information that I know. I'm waiting on BLM to provide me with some more information on some of these guys that came in with the group on July 2nd, as well as some more information on Diego, Daphne, and Dwight. I send them in either the freeze marks or the microchip numbers, and they'll pull me their animal health records so I can get a little bit of history. Let's pan over. This is Scout and Meshach who are playing right now. This is very normal boy donkey play. They're just wrestling. Very typical for them to grab necks. We do end up with bite marks on necks, not uncommon. Current moment, Scout's grabbing his leg. But they play hard. They'll run and chase. They'll stand up on hind legs. It's all just part of healthy donkey behavior. What do you think, mister? Are you coming with me? Are you going to stay with me? Whoever gets Mr. Smokey, it's going to be one lucky person. This guy's pretty amazing. You're a pretty amazing guy, aren't you? Get a little meat on your bones, get you healthy again, and you're going to be just one awesome donkey for somebody, huh? And he's already accepting a halter. He leads. He does like to go backwards, a little bit more than forwards, but we're working on that. And we're starting to work on touching his feet, so hopefully he'll be one that we can trim without needing to sedate. His feet aren't terrible, so we have time to work on that. But every day that he's in, we're working with him a little bit more. And I think we have probably 6 in here that we've used that Farnham EquiSpot fly product on. Woodrow was probably the worst in here as far as the flies went, and the EquiSpot has been a game changer for him. So his legs are definitely healing up. Are your legs better, Mr. Woodrow? Yeah. So he still has lots of scarring right now that'll heal up, but at least there's not hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flies on his legs anymore. The wind today helps. This is Arlo. Arlo's a pretty sweet guy too, huh? Good boy. Touch. Touch. So, if you walk around, Nancy, you can see that Arlo has glue up here on his mane. He also has glue and remaining stickers down here on his butt. It's possible that he went through more than one sale prior to arriving here. Sometimes different sales put stickers in different places. That's how they identify him in the sale barns. But he's a BLM guy. He's become very, very sweet. He's had some life. He's got pretty good notch in his ear. That's usually either fighting in the wild or sometimes it can be frostbite. Sometimes it can be that wherever they were prior to now that they were roped. But their ears heal up. He's obviously a little protective of it. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I stopped poking at you. See, I'm a handsome guy. I'm a handsome guy, huh? But we learn more and more about their personalities every day that they're here and spend a lot of time interacting with them, as you can see. Right, Admiral? Huh? Good boy. Touch. Touch. You're okay. You're okay. Good boy. Good boy. What's this? Yeah, good job, you guys. Good job. Kind of a weird thing, but since it's happening right in front of us, we'll tell you. You can see that we just had a donkey pee, had another donkey pee right on top of the last donkey's pee. They all pee on top of each other. Those holes turn out to be really lovely, but the reason that they do that is that the predators don't know how many of them are here if they all pee on top of each other. So we have pee spots throughout our pens, but it's kind of nice because they pretty much only pee in one spot or 2 spots, and they're not peeing all over the place. So goals for our lunch with our long ears is to just share and show you what's going on. I get lots of questions and lots of people that are like, wow, there's so much that you guys do on a daily basis and we would love to follow along. Fortunately, most of the time I don't have Nancy here or somebody here that can follow me around with a camera that I can talk you through as far as like morning feedings that we do. Today we were out at 5:45, huh? We fed nice and early. But we want to share more of our day-to-day routine and some of the things that are happening. So hopefully today, in learning about our fly protocol and learning about their freeze marks and learning about our microchips and temperature reading microchips, learning a bit about some of the guys and getting to know them a little bit better, gives you a little bit of an idea that we're here and this is what we have going on. So we hope you have a great Tuesday. The other update that I want to provide is that it's worked out really well for us to do these videos on Tuesday, which has unfortunately overlapped with Taz and doing his Taz talks and his Tuesdays with Taz. So we may bump Taz to be Thursdays with Taz, so that everything doesn't end up stacked up on Tuesdays. But stay tuned on that, and there's, like I said, lots of other things that are in the works, we will share as we can. But every day is a new adventure and there's always something going on. So hope you guys have a great Tuesday. And that's Nipper and Scout playing now. Scout picked a different playmate and off he goes. And we'll catch up soon. If you have questions that you would like me to address in another segment, feel free to leave them in the comments. These are also getting posted to YouTube, so please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. As we build content, we will continue to load there, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great Tuesday.